Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a brand new Call of Duty mobile video, and this video is a joint video with a YouTuber named Itz Dru, so I'll just allow him to introduce himself right now.
Well, here we go again, guys. Welcome back. My name is Itz Dru. I am a Call of Duty mobile as well as a COD console YouTuber, and today we're going to be bringing you a comparison of the Rus and the Qq9. So sit back and relax and enjoy this collaboration video.
In this video, we'll be doing a in-depth comparison between the new Qq9 slash the MP5 and the Rus79u. So guys, this is gonna be a series on my channel, and I think that Drew will also be doing a series, so be sure you go over to his channel and subscribe. So this video is gonna be a bit different from the others in the series, in that in this video I'll be doing my in-depth analysis of the Qq9, and then Drew will be doing his in-depth analysis of the Rus, which we both did extensive research on, and then we'll determine which is the best. But for the other videos in the series, I'll actually be comparing them hand to hand instead of one behind the other. And before we start, guys, I want to say we just hit 10K on the channel. Thank you so much for all the support. As I always say, I really do appreciate it. And if you are not yet subscribed, if this is your first time to the channel, be sure you hit that subscribe button, because our next major goal is 10K subscribers, and I can't wait to reach it, guys. So thanks again.
Here we go, guys, the Rus. Let's talk about the different aspects of this weapon. First things first, man. Magazine size with no external clip, man. It has a magazine size of about a 36 and a total bullet capacity of 180. Total bullet capacity just means how many bullets are in the gun total. So with that being said, if you add an external clip, man, the mag now increases to 44 and the total capacity to 220, which makes the external clip, aka extended mag, very useful for this weapon. Reload speed is next, man. Reload speed is pretty fast, man. Set at about 2.25 seconds. So the use of fast mag is not necessary, but it can be very useful if you want that extra fast reload speed. Now we're going to be looking at the iron sight. Now the standard iron sight is very good. Now iron sights usually, and most of the time, I'm talking about 10 out of 10, aims down sight faster than adding a red dot sight, or, you know what I'm saying, any other kind of sight. I can't even, look, I don't use a tac scope, so I wouldn't know the name off the top of my head, okay? But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. The iron sight is pretty good on this. A lot of pro players love the iron sight. I don't see a whole lot of people rocking no red dot on this. I don't use a red dot on this, and I love red dot sights, but the iron sight on this is amazing. It's great. It's a viable option. It's very useful, man. So I recommend the iron sight on this. You get a little bit, and when I say a little bit faster aim down sight speed. So you one tap ADS players, this can be very useful for you. So consider using this instead of using a sight on this gun. But the aim down sight speed is very good in general. So I just want to say, in terms of the SMG class, this is a very good weapon in terms of aim down sight speed. Also, let's talk hip fire spray. The hip firing on this weapon is just mediocre. It's okay. It's kind of on par with every other weapon in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to blow your mind. It's not the Cordite. You know what I'm saying? The Cordite is in a category of its own in terms of hip fire. If you add a laser sight to it, it doesn't really do anything to help you. It can a little bit, and I tested it out a little bit, and I really didn't notice any differences that are gonna be real-time differences. Of course, the laser sight made the spray a little bit smaller, so it's more of a confined area. But in terms of a real 1v1 gunfight, if you're having to hip fire somebody, it's not gonna be any huge difference. So I would not put a laser sight on this. I mean, you can if you want. Like I said, man, you always can do what you want. But what I recommend is not putting one of those on there, because it won't make a huge difference in real-time scenarios. And there are a lot of one-tap ADS players out there, so it won't be helping you anyway. So recoil, man, let's talk about this. This is a very important topic right here. Everybody want to know about recoil, man. So recoil on RSU without a grip It'll go vertical a little bit and then it just sway horizontally, bro. It's just shaking, man. It's shaking like a stripper. You don't want that, okay? You don't want that. So put a grip on that thing, man. Put a grip on there. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. I really recommend you put a grip on this thing, man. For this gun to reach its full potential, you want to put a grip on this weapon. Highly recommend it. If you don't put any other attachment, if you don't listen to anything else I say during this entire video, make sure you put a grip. Make sure you put a grip on that RUS. So moving on, man, let's go mobility, man. The mobility weapon is very good as well, sitting at a sprint speed of about 6.5 meters per second and a straight speed of 3.28 meters per second, making it one of the best SMGs in terms of movement speed. I think this and the PDW are very similar. So I mean, SMGs, I gotta look and see what's the slowest. I'm not exactly sure. Shout out to Hawkness, by the way, for these stats, but I gotta see which one is the slowest, man. But this is very viable in terms of the SMG class and like moving and different things. And straight speed is just when you're aiming down sight, going left and right, and sprint speed, of course, is just running straight ahead. Next on the list, range, man. So it's an SMG. You won't really be using it at long ranges, but it can be used from mid range, from mid to short range, and it's very good in those ranges as well. Time to kill. So how long does it take? This is what everybody wants to know, man. How long does it take to kill an enemy with this weapon? At short range, if time to kill is around 318 milliseconds, and at mid range, it's kind of the same, around the 318 range. And then once you get to longer range, you're looking at about a 477. You don't want to use an SMG at very long ranges anyway, so I do not recommend you trying to use this at very long ranges. But if you use this weapon from that short range to mid range, is very good. It's very consistent. I'll get into that later, but it's very consistent. All right, and then kind of not lastly, but I really want to talk about just other things that I've noticed about this gun, man. Other observations, man. So next thing I want to say, man, a lot of pros use this weapon, man. A lot of pros use this weapon. The main reason is because of how consistent it is, like I just said, man. So it's very consistent, especially when you throw the grip on there. It's very consistent. It moves well. It does everything well. It does not do everything great. That's what I'm trying to say. It does not do everything great, but it does everything well, making it one of the more consistent SMGs in the game. Especially when you put a grip on there. I'm just gonna keep saying that. Put a grip on that thing. All right. So some of the key differences, man, with this and the Q9, which I think the Q9 or Qq9, I just like to shorten the Q9. What makes the Q9 different from most guns in the game is that recoil, that vertical recoil that goes straight up. But this does not have that straight up vertical recoil, especially when you put a grip on that. If you put a grip on the Q9, it still has that a little bit. Zecon's gonna talk about that later, but the Q9 and the RSU are very different, man. The consistency of the RSU can make it a choice over the Q9 in some people's eyes, you know what I'm saying? And you got to keep that in mind. The Q9 has a learning curve to it. I feel like the RSU does not have that huge learning curve to it as the Q9 would have. Also, I want to implement my own stat that I have come up with called the FGO, aka the feel good optimization. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is just something that I come with just so I can be different. You know what I'm saying? And the RSU has one of the best FGOs in the game. It feels very well. It feels good to use. The iron sight is good. It looks good. And that what comprises the FGO, man. How does it look? How does it feel when you're moving with it? And it has one of the best FGOs in the game. I can highly recommend this weapon as a daily driver.
So the first thing that I actually want to touch on is the recoil. So I'm gonna just go in the training mode just to go ahead and test this out, and I did turn off my gyroscope just so I can have a more accurate representation. So the first thing I'm gonna be trying at close range, then I'll go mid range, and then I'll go long range. And in the video I'll be talking about the specific meters, but this is just for the recoil test. So let me just start off by doing that. So let me center the crosshair right here in the center right here, because I use this as the recoil test. So alright, and that is with me not controlling the recoil any at all. So as you can see, it does have a well, it's a massive vertical recoil, which is pretty easy to control. So this time I'll actually try and finish the 30 rounds just to see if it actually makes any jumps or anything like that. Alright, so by the time that it reaches about 15 shots, then it kind of gets steady by there. So let me just go mid range right here just to see. Okay, so the recoil is pretty bad. The recoil will obviously be worse than the Rus. Alright, so I'm gonna actually turn on my gyroscope now and see how easy the recoil is to control, because it is just a horizontal recoil. We don't have a man-o-war style recoil where it bounces all over the place. So let me turn on my gyroscope to actually see now how easy it is to control all of this better. Whoa, the recoil is definitely harder to control. I have to be tilting my phone like a lot right now, and it's still going up. If I was using a other gun, then it would be pretty easier. So let me just go at range. It would be pretty okay. So the recoil is definitely not the greatest recoil. But I did know that before. So now that we are done with the recoil test, it's time to get into the real numbers to see how good the gun actually is, or how bad it actually is. Now a lot of you should have been using the Qq9 already, so you might have your opinions on it. So now I'm just gonna actually give you some real numbers to see how it actually performs. And I want to thank Pathogenesis for the opportunity to get this image right here on the screen. Alright guys, I want you to pay attention to the first 4 images that you are seeing right now. I'll speak about the last one afterwards. So the first one is less than 7 meters. The second one is between 7 meters and 13 meters. The third one is between 13 meters and 27 meters, and the fourth, which is the last one, is anything above 27 meters. So according to the first image, anything below 7 meters, the Qq9 will do 27 damage. It will require 4 headshots below 7 meters, that is, to kill someone with a headshot at 7 meters. It also take 4 shots for the chest area, and anything below the torso will take 5 shots. Anything between 7 and 11 meters, this is 25 damage. It will also require 4 headshots. It will require 4 body shots, and anything below the torso, again, that will require 5 shots as well. And then we are stepping up now, which is kind of a strange place to use the Qq9. 13 to 27 meters, this will require 5 to 6 shots as headshots to actually get a kill with this gun. For the body shots, it will take 6 shots, and anything below the torso, I would go with 7 shots. Sometimes if you're lucky you can get 6, but it's more than likely 7. And then stepping up to 25 meters, you need a 5 headshot to kill someone. For the body shots, that will be 7, and anything below the torso, that will be 8 shots. Now I want to say, unlike most guns, the Qq9, it is totally not worth it to go for headshots, as you can see by the comparison. For one, the recoil will be jumping all over the place. Also, it is still pretty similar when you're getting body shots for most of the ranges, so I would suggest that you go for the chest region and let the recoil go up a bit, and hopefully you will get that lucky headshot. But as I said, do not aim for a headshot, because then you'll probably lose that gunfight. So let's discuss the range next. And the range on the Qq9 is kind of sad. I'm pretty sure that the range is one of the worst for any SMG in the game. This has the worst range. So anything below 7 meters, it's actually a 4 shot. Between 7 to 13 meters, that's a 5 shot, and between 13 to 15 meters, that is a 6 shot. And you can see how close the gap is for you to require extra shot. And even though this might not seem as a lot in a real gunfight, then this would be a problem. So let's move on to suppressor. And if you are planning to use a suppressor on the Qq9, I want to say right now that it is a bad idea. That is such a bad idea. Like, the range is bad enough, and then to use a suppressor on this, then that would make no sense. What I suggest that you do is try to find space for a long barrel, because the long barrel will give you a lot more damage. A long barrel literally gives a 15% increase on the damage, and a suppressor actually decreases it by 5%. So that is the reason why I say try to find a space for the long barrel. Now on to firing rate, and the Qq9 actually has the second highest firing rate in the game for SMGs. And I know that the only gun that has a faster firing rate than the Qq9 is the MSMC. Not even the Führer has a faster firing rate than the Qq9. So if you miss a couple shots, then this won't be too bad for you, because the rapid firing, especially if you have a extended mag, if you miss too many shots, then that won't be really be a problem with you. So that is one advantage that I definitely know that this has over the Rus. So I don't want my half of the video to be too long, so I'm just going to conclude here by saying, even though I did do my full research on the Qq9, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Rus is the better gun. And I don't know if I have a bias towards the Rus, because it is one of my favorite guns in the game. I have been using this from about season 2, so I don't know if that is the reason, but however, I just think that the Rus is a more versatile gun. You can use this like for any range and stuff, and it's still pretty solid. You don't need a long barrel. So again, as I said, in terms of overall performance, I'll definitely give it to the Rus in my opinion.